everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. The weekend is upon us, and I have your questions here regarding the world of wrestling, so let's get right down to it. Do you feel that fans who grew up in the Attitude Era expect way too much from the current WWE product? Yes, I would say that, because during the Attitude Era, wrestling fans were spoiled. You had WWE versus WCW, a very competitive situation between two companies. They were trying to constantly outdo each other, and, things got hot-shotted. Storylines were rushed. They were changing titles all the time. Guys were trying to do big spots, trying to top the other promotion. And it just got to the point where it was just too much. And eventually you have to go back to some sort of normalcy. And that's what happened with WWE. They had to tone it down a little bit, or else, they were going to run out of storylines. Guys are going to get hurt, even worse than hurt. And, fans need to realize that WWE has to kind of pace themselves and present their storylines over a period of time and, have their guys do big bumps, once in a while. But if it's done all the time, these guys are going to have no career. I mean, Edge would probably still be wrestling today if he took maybe a few less bumps over the past 10, 15 years. You answered a question about who could change TNA and make it better, and you said Paul Heyman. I think it would take Vince McMahon to change TNA. I would agree with you on that if it was the Vince McMahon of 15 years ago or 25 years ago. The Vince McMahon of today, not so sure about that. Like I said in the previous video, I really think that it would take more than one person, and that's including Vince McMahon. You see, the thing about WWE today is that it's the whole company infrastructure that is a well-oiled machine. All the behind-the-scenes people know what they're doing. WWE is still making money, even when the product is considered cold by a lot. Wait a minute, I just got a text here from... He is now the anonymous GM of NoDQ.com, so he has switched positions. Oh, he wants to borrow $5. Well, think about that. Anyways, like I said, WWE is a well-oiled machine. All the people in the company are working really hard, and they know what they're doing. They're good at their job. And even in this downtime for WWE, from a creative standpoint, they're still making a profit. So, I mean... Like I said with TNA, it's going to take a lot of guys in a complete revamp if they're ever going to get beyond the 1.1 rating and the 1,000 house show attendance. By the way, they were in San Francisco on Thursday night, and yeah, they drew about 1,000 people. So just wanted to throw that out there. Hey, do you think Jeff Hardy will be back in WWE in 2012? It seems he is doing this one final rivalry with Jarrett, and he is out of the business. TNA has plans for future stars. Your thoughts? Well, if you've been paying attention, that's the complete opposite. I mean, Hulk Hogan said that Jeff Hardy, if his head is straight, is the future of TNA wrestling. And Dixie Carter posted on Twitter on Thursday night, plugging Jeff Hardy. I mean, to me, it seems like the direction they're going is Jeff Hardy's going to be the world champion again in 2012. That seems to be where they're going. And, I don't see him going back to WWE anytime soon. I think... if he stays healthy for a long period of time, it's always a possibility he could go back. But right now, he's just coming off this jail stint and all this negative publicity, and I think they just want to, stay clear of the Hardy Boys for the time being. But that's WWE. TNA, different story. Do you like CM Punk with his hair short or long, like he had when he had the Straight Edge Society? I like the long hair better. Well, I like both. I like the way he is now. I think it's good for a change. It's good to change it up. And wait a minute, I got another text here from the anonymous NoDQ GM who jumped ship from WWE because he was fed up with losing his spot on TV. He says he likes the long hair better. I don't see. I like the long hair, but it's good for change. Like I said, just like Jericho. Jericho had the long hair. He cut it, and it's good to change up your look every now and then. And I actually liked the CM Punk with the Freddie Mercury mustache a couple months ago. I'm sad he got rid of that. But, yeah, I like that he changes up his look. I think it's a good thing. Hey, Aaron, just wondering what he thought about the CM Punk I Respect You promo that he cut with John Laurinaitis. I thought it was the best promo Punk ever cut. and I think it made Raw fantastic by itself, but I've heard no talk about it. Well, you might be in the minority there. I don't even remember Punk's promo that well. Just making fun of John Laurinaitis. Oh, I think it was kind of like, what I remember from it was kind of like a knockoff of, Steve Austin talking to Vince McMahon saying, I respect everything that you've done. I also respect the fact that, hell, you can kiss my ass. It was kind of like that with CM Punk, and just not nearly as effective, I thought. I don't know. It was okay, but I wasn't too crazy about it. Hey, Aaron, when do you think WWE is going to change their logo? That is a good question. I have no idea. One would think they would have changed it by now. They've had that scratch logo for 11, 12 years now. Longer than that. 13 years. And, eventually they got to change it and go with something else. But they might not do that until, they kind of take their company in a new direction, and then they feel that it's necessary to change the logo. So, like I've said before, they're going to just use that logo and run it into the ground pretty much. Hey, Aaron, haven't you noticed when watching The Rock's matches that he never goes on the top turnbuckle and jump off? Undertaker, Kane, and Cena do it, but why not The Rock? Was he scared of getting hurt? That is a question you might want to ask The Rock. I'm not really sure why. Maybe he, never felt comfortable jumping off the top rope, or, it just wasn't necessary for him. Some guys do it, some guys don't. It just depends on what their style and what their preferences are. All right. Does having too many filler matches at WrestleMania help or hurt the show? Does it because the pay-per-view loses momentum? In my opinion, WrestleMania 19 was the best ever, and it didn't have filler matches between the 5 main events. The crowd was hot whole show. I know it depends on the city too. Well, sometimes having like a throwaway match is good to be like a buffer between 2 really big matches. Like trying to think, WrestleMania 18 with Hogan and The Rock. They had the women's match after that, to kind of cool the crowd down before the main event. But unfortunately, the main event, the crowd still wasn't that hot. They were already spent from Hogan and Rock. But I'm fine with filler matches as long as even those matches have a little bit of a story behind them. I think the problem with some of the early WrestleManias is that those undercard matches were pretty much just thrown together. Although it was a different period where, just having 2 stars wrestle on a card was something special, because on TV you only had squash matches with, a star and a jobber. But, now if they're going to do it, at least kind of put in 2 guys that have some kind of story, rather than just throw 2 random people in it. I definitely think that's the best way to go. Alright, that about does it for NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I have reopened the FormSpring account, formspring.me/AaronRiff, so get those questions in. Based on feedback, everyone seems to prefer the video over the text NoDQ&A, but I might be doing some more text NoDQ&As just to try to please everybody, so to speak, and that way I can get more questions answered too. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do for the time being, a combination of both. So I might answer some on the video, I might answer some on the text version on NoDQ.com, so stay tuned for that. And please keep subscribing, youtube.com/NoDQCW, and please keep spreading the word, and we'll see you next time.